Hey, what's going on, nation? Today we're going to be talking about the 7 dumbest mistakes people make when performing a dip. Now, tricep dips are actually one of my favorite exercises because they not only target all 3 heads of your triceps, but because you perform the movement with your palms facing in like this, you're going to be placing a bit more emphasis on the lateral head of the triceps, which is the outside head. So when all you guys are walking around flexing, that's the head you're showing off the most when you're trying to outangle your friends. Now, if you missed the last video in the series covering the 5 dumbest bicep curl mistakes sabotaging your gains, I will link to that video down in the info section below. And if you guys love this series, be sure to smash that like button and leave your suggestions for future exercises you would like for me to cover as a comment below. The first mistake is very simple, guys. It's not warming up your shoulders before starting to do dips. A lot of people complain about shoulder pain, and they allocate that pain because they said they were doing too much of a range of motion. They were going down too far when they were doing their dips, and that's why they have shoulder pain, or that's why they had a shoulder injury. Doing full range of motion doesn't cause injuries, guys. Doing full range of motion without warming up your shoulders is what causes injuries. And it's for a few different reasons. Obviously, number one, you gotta make sure the muscles are nice and loose and ready for the exercise, just like any other movement that you do. But the other reason is because you have to warm up the shoulder joint itself, because that joint is filled with this stuff called synovial fluid. And I've talked about this a lot, guys. And basically what that fluid is that's what allows the bones to kind of glide across each other nice and smooth, okay? But those bones gliding across each other in your shoulder when it's cold is basically like sticking a spoon in a jar of honey and trying to stir it. It's very hard. So not only do you have tight muscles holding you back from full range of motion, making it very difficult, but you also have the fluid inside the shoulder joint that's preventing you from having a nice smooth motion when you do your dips. So what happens is, as you start to warm up the shoulders and warm up that fluid, it drops the viscosity level down and allows it to be more like sticking a spoon in a jar of water and stirring it real easy. You want those bones to be able to glide across each other real smooth to help prevent injuries. So I'm going to link you guys to a full shoulder warm-up video to show you some amazing exercises you can do, especially if you have flexibility issues to begin with. These are exercises you should do every single morning when you wake up, and you can even apply some of them to before you start your workout. But one thing I like to do before I start my workouts is shoulder breakers. And for me, honestly, guys, I can do a few sets of this before I start my workout, and my shoulders are fine because I have very good flexibility. And you've seen me do this a bunch of times. All you need is a bungee or a straight pole, just something that's going to allow you to create some tension. So you're going to push your arms out as far as you can and go up and over your head and touch your butt, up and over your head and touch your thighs just like this. And all you're going to do is go back and forth 12 times with a 1-1 count. So it doesn't count as 1 rep until you touch your butt and then touch your thighs. And you're going to stop after 12, and you're going to rest like 15, 20 seconds, and then you're going to do it again. And what's great about doing this with a bungee is that you can actually make it more intense by grabbing closer. Just make sure that when you do this, you don't have a loose bungee and you're doing that. Always create tension by pushing your hands out and then going up and over, because it's that force that's trying to pull your arms in as you rotate that's going to help warm up that area and get a nice stretch on the muscles. Another thing you can do after you do your shoulder warm-up, so what I like to do, normally when I do my dips, guys, I do weighted dips. I don't do body weight dips if I'm trying to build muscle. So what I'll also do is I'll jump up here and I'll do like 10 or 12 reps as a warm-up with just my body weight, just to make sure I'm going through full range of motion. And for those of you guys who are doing body weight dips for your actual sets, what you can do is go over to like the edge of a bench and do a warm-up set there, where you're going all the way down and all the way up, just to get that area nice and warm. Mistake number 2 is improper hand placement. When you guys are trying to do dips to target your triceps, you want to make sure your hands are as close. You want to make sure that you're keeping your arms as close to your body as possible. So if you're using a dip station like this, where the handles start to fray out a bit, you want to grab as close to the front as you can so everything is nice and tight. And you also want to keep your hands as parallel as possible too. the wider you grab this thing, the more your hands are going to start to come out like this. So grabbing towards the front is going to allow you to keep your palms facing each other. And you always want to be in this position to keep things nice and tight. That's where you're going to be your strongest. Now, the second part of hand placement is once you have them in the right spot on the bars, is you have to make sure you're keeping your wrist straight. As you guys start doing this movement, maybe when you start doing body weight, you're not going to feel it as much, but doing this can start to cause a lot of pain in your wrist. Now, especially when you guys start doing weighted dips. Now, if you come to the front real quick, I'm going to change the position of my body to show you guys. If I'm grabbing like this and I have a 45 or 90 pounds strapped to my waist and I'm coming down like that, all that pressure is stopping right here. And over time, you will have wrist pain when doing dips. So what you want to do is get into the habit right away of doing dips like this, getting a nice tight grip on the bar and keeping your hands straight. Let that energy flow all the way down and through. Don't create a bottleneck right here, which can cause pain in the future. Now, obviously, as you guys start lifting heavier and heavier, it is a good idea to maybe use wrist wraps because that'll help alleviate some of the stress in the area. So when you put a wrist strap on, guys, obviously it goes like this, and you wrap it around your wrist, and that's going to help you to keep your wrist straight when doing the dip. Because if you have this here, again, you still don't want to be twisting. You want to be as straight as possible, and this will help with that. So hand placement is key to doing a proper dip. Mistake number 3, guys, is not training in full range of motion. Now, you've already learned hand placement. You've already learned how to properly warm up your shoulders. So at this point, you should be able to perform the movement and get that full range of motion. People like to say going down is too dangerous, or I got injured because I went all the way down on a dip. The reason why most people get injured is, number 1, they don't warm up, and number 2, you got people who will train for years and years and years basically doing half reps on dips, and they get to the point to where they're doing weighted dips, and then that one day they decide they're going to go all the way down and all the way up with like 90 pounds strapped to their hips. That's when they blow their shoulders out. And why? Because years of training doing half reps created weakness in the bottom portion of the movement. That second half of the movement has never seen weighted dips before. So by the time you get to there, your body just freaks out because it never had 90 pounds throughout that small range from about mid to all the way down. And that's the truth, guys. So on top of that, if you want to maximize muscle damage, you get the most amount of muscle breakdown in the negative portion of the movement. So when you have weighted dips, for example, or body weight dips, when you start at the top, that descent all the way down is your chance to maximize the amount of muscle damage that you're going to attack your triceps with, especially if you guys start doing my cheat and recover reps. You're not going to be able to maximize the amount of overload you can place on your triceps if you can't get the full range of motion in the eccentric portion of the movement when you have a heavy load strapped to your waist. So when you guys are doing your dips, you have to train yourselves to do full range of motion, period. Mistake number 4 is not keeping your chest up as you perform the movement. And the whole range of motion, guys, you need to keep your chest up. A lot of people will do dips for triceps, and they'll have their chest up when they get to here, but as they start to go down about halfway, they start to lean over the bar like this. You don't want to do that. You want to keep your chest upright as much as possible. That's going to keep maximum tension on your triceps throughout the entire range of motion. So at the top, you're like this. As you come down, you're still like that at the bottom, and then push back to the top. Always keep that chest up, and that's the number 1 reason why the shoulder warm-up is so important, because you're going to feel a lot of tension and stress in your shoulders if they're not properly warmed up when you're trying to keep your chest up at the bottom of the movement. So remember, guys, if you're trying to target your triceps with dips, you have to keep your chest up the entire time. Mistake number 5, guys, is not locking out your elbows at the top of every single repetition. So often in the gym, you'll see dudes do tricep dips, and then they'll give you the excuse that they don't go all the way to the top of the movement because they want to keep tension in their triceps. And if someone ever says that to you, especially on YouTube, you should just click away from their video, because one of the main functions of your triceps is elbow extension. So if you're not fully extending your arms and locking out your elbow, you're not fully maximizing the use of your triceps throughout the movement when you do a dip. And for those of you who say that there's no tension in the triceps anymore when your arms are fully locked out, I want you to strap 100 pounds to your waist, and I want you to come up here and get like this and hold this position for as long as you can, and I want to see just how fried your triceps are after a minute of doing that. It will prove my point. But anyways, you know, you guys go to the gym and you see people always doing this with their triceps, where they're just kind of doing this, you know, and they're just doing these little tiny half reps, and they just kind of look dumb while doing it. Usually when they do that, they have like 90 pounds strapped to their waist. They're trying to look cool and trying to look big. But for those of you who want to actually utilize the exercise to build big triceps, you're going to have to get that full extension. And so let me show you guys real quick. And I'm not saying when you get to the top to stop here just before lockout. I want full lockout. Do you see the difference in my triceps when I do that? There's a difference between stopping here and then going here and getting that nice hard flex at the top of the movement. Also, if you're doing this with proper form and you lock yourself out at the top, that's going to allow you to reset yourself to be able to fully control the negative on your next repetition, and then come back up, lock out, take in a breath, come down, push up, lock out, take in a breath, come down, lock out, take in a breath, and you're performing repetitions like that. And especially for those of you who are going to be doing my cheat and recover reps, to fully maximize the negative, you will have to pause in between reps to reset yourself and to reset your breath to keep your core as strong as possible to handle the cheat reps. So guys, when you do this exercise, I always want to see a full lockout at the top of the movement. Not here, not here, here. Mistake number 6, guys, is being too loose throughout the movement. You want to keep your body as solid as possible, so that the only two things that are moving are your elbows and rotating through your shoulders. That's it. Everything else should be as stiff as possible. And the way you accomplish that is, as you guys saw before, I was taking in a breath to keep my core tight, but I'm not flexing just my core as I do this movement. You also want to keep your glutes nice and tight. You're going to flex your quads as well. And as you go up and down, you want to keep your elbows in as close to your body as possible. And you're also going to cross your ankles. Let me show you what that looks like right now. So you guys are going to get into the starting position just like this. You're going to take in a breath. You're going to keep your core nice and tight. You're going to flex your glutes. You're going to flex your quads. And then the reason why you're going to keep your arms in is because when your arms are wide like that, it gives you room to sway side to side. And you don't want any side to side sway. You only want to be going up and down. And then some people, when they don't have their legs crossed, have a tendency to kind of go like this and go in and out, or use their legs for momentum like this. You don't want any of that. You want to cross your ankles, and that's going to help you flex your glutes a bit tighter and keep your core tighter as well. So just like this, keep your arms in nice and tight, all the way down, all the way up, flexing the glutes, flexing the core, flexing the quads, all the way down, all the way up. And as you guys can see, what that allows me to do is stay in that one plane of motion by lowering my body and bringing it back to the top of the movement. And the 7th and final mistake, guys, is not progressing with your dips. Just like any other muscle group, if you want to see growth and you want to see increases in strength, you have to progress with the movement, especially if you want to start utilizing my cheat and recover method. Now, I know a lot of you watching this video, you probably can't even do a body weight dip yet, let alone a weighted dip. So I'm going to explain to you where you should start and how to progress from there. So, very beginning, guys, you can't do body weight dips yet. You're going to start off doing bench dips. And you're going to do bench dips until you can complete 3 to 4 sets of 8 to 10 repetitions on your own. And once that starts to get pretty easy, the next progression from there is weighted bench dips. And you literally can take a plate and stack it on your legs and utilize that to add more resistance to the movement. Once you master those, you're going to come over to your dip station and start doing your body weight dips. And a lot of you guys probably still at that point won't be able to complete 8 to 10 repetitions on your own. So you have a few different options. Number one, if you have a machine in your gym that displaces your weight, like one of those Gravitron machines, usually it's for pull-ups or dips, you can use that. If you don't have that, you can literally just take a band and put it around the arms of the dip station and utilize that to help you displace your weight so you can complete your repetitions. And now, if you don't want to use a band and you want to kind of just get in here and do it on your own, you can actually self-spot yourself as long as you can adjust the dip station to be at the point to where when you're at the very bottom of the movement like this, your feet are touching the ground. You can push off your toes to get back to the top, control the eccentric portion of the movement, push off your toes, control the eccentric portion of the movement, and you can do self-assistance dips just like that. And then obviously the clear progression from here is going to be weighted dips. And you guys can do weighted dips a few different ways. The easiest way would be to use probably a weighted vest. If you don't have access to a weighted vest, you can literally get one of the dip belts that goes around your waist and you can tie plates to it. And if you don't have a weighted belt to utilize to increase the weight on your dips, what you guys can do is literally grab a dumbbell and put it between your legs and hold it there by crossing your legs and perform weighted dips that way. Do whatever you can to make sure you're maximizing this exercise and always progressing and always overloading on the eccentric portion of the movement so you start seeing some serious muscle growth and increases in strength as well. So now you guys should have everything you need to really push your triceps training to the next level with dips. Proper form is key to growing safely, and if you guys enjoyed the content in this video, please give it a big thumbs up, share it with your friends, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a new video upload. I also have 2 other videos you guys might want to check out. One is from my Versus series where I compare the weighted dip to the close grip bench press to determine which is best for maximum tricep gains. And the other video is one that I'll demonstrate the differences on how to perform the dip to either target your triceps or target your chest. Because remember guys, the form is very different. My goal is to help you reach yours. So if you need a custom meal plan or a full 12-week program to start seeing some serious growth, you can check mine out down in that info section below or go to muscularstrength.com. And as always guys, more good stuff coming soon. See ya.